Ascended Master, Lady Nada, Defining Your Personal Space, May 15, 2014. May 15, 2014. What do you know of boundaries? Healthy boundaries will encourage and create healthy relationships and connections, whereas unhealthy boundaries will only encourage and create broken and unhealthy relationships and connections. When you set clear boundaries, what you are doing, beautiful bright hearts, is defining yourself and your space in relation to others that are in the same vicinity to you. Yet in order to do this successfully, it is important to be able to recognize, realize, and understand your own needs, your feelings, what your opinions or views are, and what you consider to be right or wrong. Otherwise all your efforts will create disorganization, clutter and confusion. We know each family has its own dynamics. Some have a bit more dysfunction than others, but it is well understood that from your childhood, you have a basic understanding of what healthy and unhealthy boundaries are, and how they can hinder or enhance any relationship. If none were taught and you are learning by experience, then it is paramount to learn how to establish them in order to promote continual growth and development that is positive, empowering, and encouraging. To achieve this new and improved knowledge, it is vital to overcome any self-esteem or confidence issues that tend to lead to passivity. Become aware of your own needs, and respect yourself enough to take care of your whole total self while you are in any kind of relationship. This is self-learning process. It opens up a beautiful gateway to your true and authentic self. It is here, dear ones, you learn to identify your likes, dislikes, wants, needs, and don't wants, and through all this learning, you begin to create healthy boundaries that can be flexible when you may be needed to extend yourself once in a while. Understand, beautiful bright hearts, there are several different kinds of boundaries. Boundaries can be physical or emotional, too rigid or too loose. You have an idea of what physical boundaries are. They determine who can get close enough to touch you, how far someone can approach you, and so on. What is comfortable for you in different situations and surroundings. Whereas emotional boundaries tell you where your feelings end, and where another person's feelings begin. Emotional boundaries are about you when you interact with others, such as, are you able to ask for what you need? Are you normally compulsive or reserved? Are you able to comfortably say no, or do you quietly give in? The answers that you receive help to determine where your emotional boundary lines are, and how far you are willing to expand them. When you combine your physical and emotional boundaries, they help to define how you are able to interact with other people, and how you permit others to interact with you. If you have no established boundaries, other people could reach over and touch you in any way they want, do what they want with your belongings, and treat you any way they desired. In addition, what would result of not having established boundaries is that you would end up believing the bad behaviors of others that are reaching over into your boundaries, into your space, is your fault, and you begin to take on everyone else's problems as if they are your very own. You might begin feeling you have no rights, you don't deserve to be respected or treated with kindness, but in fact you do. You have the right to be treated kindly, you have the right to be respected, and you have the right to have your personal space appreciated. Imagine a world where no boundaries existed for anyone. Everyone's lives would be in total chaos. There would be no control, no love, no compassion, and definitely no respect. There are some beautiful bright hearts among you that have their boundaries either too rigid or too slack. The dear souls that have extremely rigid boundaries are considered tight, inflexible, and appear to shut out everyone from their life. They may even appear to be detached, distant, and refrain from talking about their feelings or ever express their emotions. Such people are very self-sufficient and they will never ask for help. Dear souls with rigid boundaries also won't allow others to get physically or emotionally close to them. It is as if they live in a world that is surrounded by solid concrete walls with no windows. Not one single person is permitted inside. Then there are the dear souls that have their boundaries too loosely established, where they literally put their hands on total strangers and allow others to touch them improperly. Such people may be sexually promiscuous, misunderstand the difference of sex and love, find themselves pushed into a sexual relationship too soon, or become too close to people at an extremely fast pace. Many dear souls that have loose boundaries take on the feelings of others as if they were their own. They can easily become emotionally and mentally overwhelmed, give too much of themselves and are in constant need for approval. The dear souls with loose boundaries often lead dramatic and chaotic lives. Lives say equals 0.1 their lives offenses, no doors, all is opened. The dear souls with healthy boundaries beautiful bright hearts are strong yet flexible. They are able to easily give to others and be accepting, while at the same time respect their own feelings, their own needs, views, rights, and the same of those of others, and at the same time they are definitely clear on their individualness and separateness. They understand and accept they are responsible for their own happiness, and permit other dear souls to be responsible for their own. The dear souls that have healthy boundaries are positive, assertive, and respectful of the rights of others and of their own need to be assertive. These dear souls understand empathy and demonstrate empathy towards others, and are accepting of their own mistakes and won't go out of their way to damage their self-esteem or confidence. They have a good idea of who they are, they are in touch with their authentic true self and are comfortable with themselves, and from their own self-comfort they are able to make others feel comfortable as well. At first, when you are learning to set new boundaries or to reset the ones you have, be prepared for a bit of discomfort at first. You may be visited by anxiety, hidden fears, or any other conditioned habit that you may have been unaware of. Remember, dear ones, your progress into better developing yourself, including your boundaries, is not perfect, it is a work in progress. You get more done each day, you try a bit more each time, and before you know it, your steps become easier. Don't give up on yourself. When you are establishing new boundaries or reevaluating the ones you already have, ensure you are doing this without anger being expressed. There is no need to justify the boundary you are setting. If you are uncomfortable with how something is progressing, you have the right to change how it is going calmly, firmly. Poly equals 0.1 assertively and respectfully. Try to understand, dear ones, that you cannot establish a boundary and take care of the other person's feelings at the same time. This is your boundary. How they react to your boundary is not your responsibility. We want you to create friendships, connections with people that respect and appreciate you and your boundaries. It is quite common at first, beautiful bright hearts, to feel that you are being selfish, possibly guilty, or even embarrassed when you establish a boundary. Even if you feel one or more of these things, still set up your boundary. Tell yourself that you have every right to take care of yourself. Understand that setting and implementing boundaries will take time, practice, and willing determination. Don't allow feelings of anxiety or low confidence to keep you from taking care of yourself or from giving yourself the self-love you deserve. Listen to your own emotions and to your own responses. If at any time, beautiful bright hearts, you find yourself complaining, angry, or feeling resentment towards another dear soul, then that is your inner self trying to get you to establish some kind of boundary. From the indications you get from your inner self, you will quickly know what it is you need to do or say. Learn to listen to your inner self or intuition more often. Once you have determined your needs, then effectively communicate your boundary, without guilt, without embarrassment, but with assertiveness. When you come from a confident place, you are able to set clear and healthy boundaries with others, and there will be less of a need for those walls you like to create. Of course, even with your boundaries in place, there will be times when those invisible lines will be tested. We encourage you to be strong and firm. Keep in mind, beautiful bright hearts, that your own behavior must be exactly the same as the boundaries you are establishing. You cannot set a clear boundary successfully if you are sending mixed, confusing messages. Don't apologize for establishing your boundary. Be clear, be firm, and be respectful. The majority of people will have no problem respecting your boundaries, but there will be some that will not. Don't back down. Be strong with the boundaries you have set. Create walls only when solutions or resolutions cannot be made, or when relationships come to an end. There are some dear souls out there that clearly do not respect other people's boundaries, and authorities have to be called. There is no harm or shame when you need help from others, even if the help is for your own safety. You deserve your own kindness, love, and respect. Setting up your boundaries will not happen overnight. They will take time. Understand this is a learning process. When you are ready to establish or re-establish your boundaries, then you will. This is growing time, set in your own time frame, not when someone else tells you. You might find you need to establish a new network of friends that will be supportive and appreciative of your needs and wants. It is okay to eliminate those toxic people from your life because they are poison to the beautiful becoming of you. There is so much good in store for each of you. I love you tremendously, and I wish for each beautiful child of God to have set healthy boundaries, that they remain true to their authentic self, and allow themselves to emerge into love-filled expressions that are happy and excited to be on their journey. When your solar plexus chakra is healthy, so will be your boundaries. Your chakras are a very important part of who you are. Learn them, maintain them, and keep them healthy, and in turn they will help promote healthy growth and development. And so it is. I am Ascended Master, Lady Nada, through Julie Miller. SpiritualNetworks.com